has caused her heart to break. She told Diddy in the text she didn't want to play that role in his life anymore. It's dark, sleazy, and makes me feel disgusted with myself. Ooh, and you know he hated that. It's the only one, because it's really calling him out. Because this is what, like, I think Capricorn, Mark, or Mia, or somebody had said, like, you didn't want to let Diddy know that you knew what he was doing was wrong. You couldn't, I think it was Mia, you couldn't let Diddy know you thought what he was doing was wrong. And here is this Jane Doe saying, it's dark.
What up, what up?
Sleazy. And it makes me feel
So we are listening to the P. Diddy trial, just so everybody knows.
And why you pay for my house?
I have to drive to Cincinnati.
For her, telling him, I don't want to feel obligated to perform and fear losing you. I don't want to feel like that anymore. I just want to talk like adults and figure where we go from here. This is like some of the more, correct me if I'm wrong, this is like some of the more intense testimony we've seen and heard. For me, that's how I'm feeling it out.
My baby's getting his driver's license today. Holla! Finally. After 500 tornadoes.
Okay. So the most recent text we read on Inner City Press was where Jane was saying she didn't want to take substances. It felt too real. And then she asked Diddy for a pill. It made her feel better. And then the second time she did an FO, a freak off, without substances, the partner was taking too many. He said, I'll do 30 days without substances. I don't know what the partner means. Is it the entertainer or Diddy? He said, I'll do 30 days without substances.
Good morning,
let's have
Thomas.
one last sobriety party at the L'Hermitage. And this is the one where the lady came in, the man, what's his name? Zamor? Was that him? Okay, so how long did the one last sobriety party last? Jane said too long, 18 hours. What happened? Jane said, the first guy, the second guy, I wasn't feeling well. I threw up. I told Diddy I had just thrown up.
Again, we are listening to the Titty trial, just so everybody knows.
And what did he say? He said, that's good. Now you're ready for the third guy. He's here. How did that make you feel? Jane said, I was disgusted. I was just repulsed. I was just too mad to myself. I was mad at myself. I was mad I let myself get into this. This would be a good place for a break. The judge said, I agree. Y'all, my scalp is tingling right here. Whew. This is, it's too much. It's too much, and you know what? I believe it. Go CNN update. All right, let's get the details from Washington Post. Oh, she's got colors on again. I prefer her in a color. Like the worst mutation of like, everybody has dealt with a person like this. Everybody has probably dated even somebody like this or whatever. Like everyone has dealt with a person like this, but he's like the grown up, most evolved Pokemon of it. You know what I mean? At least how it's being described. I don't know. Certainly wasn't there. Thank God. Because it's traumatizing me even just reading about it. Okay. Wesley Parnell from Washington Post said Jane recalled crying at least twice during freak-offs with Diddy and entertainers, once during a group sex session at the Waldorf in Beverly Hills when Diddy seemed offended. He said, are you crying? And just looked like disgusted with my face. Jane second time was in Miami when Jane said she was so on substances she was intermittently blacking out. Jane clung to Diddy's butler in desperation
The women's prison.
before Diddy made her have
Valley.
relations with an escort.
That's a memorable name.
She clung to the butler in desperation. I bet you that butler comes to the stand. I bet you that butler comes to the stand. She clung to the butler in desperation before Diddy made her come back and have relations with an escort. She said she broke down in tears in the shower with Diddy. He just said, don't effing do this.
Good morning, Miguel.
I'm high and I can't effing see that. I'm too high. 21 minutes ago, Janice Combs shows up in her white nails, silver. Floral. She wore a floral tracksuit today, and this is her purse. She brings this purse every time. 12 minutes ago, eventually Diddy only wanted to have relations with Jane after she spent hours with a male entertainer. His former girlfriend testified under her court-approved pseudonym. Jane explained that due to her love for and infatuation with Diddy, she longed for one-on-one time with him, which she only got after having relations with other men while Diddy watched. I started to feel obligated that I had to perform. Her testimony is strikingly similar to that of Cassie, who dated Diddy years before. Yeah, it is strikingly similar. Cassie also broke down on the stand as she said freak-offs were the only time she could get with Diddy. 6 minutes ago, Washington Post, Jane, a
He's
former
such a
girlfriend
fucking
of Diddy,
monster.
is reading a text message from 2023.
Finish.
She pleaded with Diddy to stop having freak-offs. By that point,
We are driving to right outside Cincinnati. My son's getting his
ever
license
since I
today.
opened Pandora's box, I've never been able to
We are listening to the Diddy trial, just so everybody knows.
I am so much more than being loved in the dark, in hotel rooms, doing things that make me feel disgusted. I don't want to play this role in your life anymore. It's dark, sleazy. It makes me feel disgusted with myself. I don't want to feel obligated to perform these nights with you.
What's
in
up,
fear of
420?
losing the roof over my head. Girl, stop, Combs replied. It's gotta be he either hates women or he developed a sexual dysfunction where
I think it's both.
early on he probably, realized he could pay people to do this type of thing. And then it's almost like, how you're seeing an epidemic, pandemic across the world with young people, especially young men who have developed dysfunctions because they have watched so much pornography and pornographic materials. It's like that's the only way they can function, operate properly. And it has to do with something about, the receptors of the dopamines and the this and the that. I don't know. There's a lot of science on it. Y'all go read up on it if you want to. But there's like a whole lot of young men right now who are suffering with this because of this access to overtly explicit materials. Like you'll hear people like, Adam Grant Mason or whatever, those people over there, they talk about it and they'll be like, I don't even get really turned on by anything anymore. Everything's just gross. Like everything's just nasty. Because it's like they've been so exposed to like the most raunchiest, depraved stuff that for whatever reason they've rewired their like receptors. And it's possible that Diddy like just really can only if that happens first or something. Yeah. Thanks so much, Iris, for the 2 Oyolo. Thank you, BJ. You were phenomenal. Thank you. BJ, Ugly Dan. How do you have the energy to get this glam every day? You're the best. Make sure you don't get that Diddy on you. I'm saying. I mean, I rebuke. I do not consent. I rebuke, and I'm God's favorite. So that, no. Diddy will get struck if he tries to get me. Thank you for the $4.99. Shout out to Ariane, Colin, Maya88, becoming a member. Thank you so much to Lisa Renee for the $49.99 super chat. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, BJ. You have made my gardening so much coverage. Hashtag respect. God bless you. Sending prayers for protection. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for that $49.99. Very generous. Thank you. Thank you, Cal on Earth, for the 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, April, May, June. I've been listening from day one. Thank you, BJ Mods. You are making my work days fly by. April, May, June. And with that, speaking of mods, I want to show y'all and say congratulations to I think my first mod ever, Monica. She started her Etsy store. Okay. Is alive and well, so congratulations to her. And it's called Tea Time Gift Shop US. She's got stationery items. She's got some bookmarks. Look at that, how cute. Look at that, how cute. Greeting cards. So if you want to support the mods, also their links are in the chat below. If you want to do a little buy me a coffee, a thankless job. They're doing Whack-A-Troll all day. And let me put the link for her store right here. So if I tell Monica congratulations for starting her store.
What's up, E-Man?
Yeah, he did. He said, girl, stop.
We are listening to the P. Diddy trial.
That's what they're recording. That is what they're recording. Isn't that cute? Look at that. That
We're
is so
live
cute.
right now, Latoya.
Look at that.
We're all hanging out here.
Look at that. So cute.
Fuck.
Monica can do anything. She's so talented. Okay, we have a new update here from CNN. Now we have palate cleanse. Jane says she took substances because she didn't want to feel like it was too real. That's why she took substances during hotel nights, because she didn't want to feel like it was too real. She said she wanted to make things easier. Her voice began to break again. She recalled that she tried not to use substances during 2 different hotel nights. The first time she said she made the decision because I was tired of doing that to my body. The fantasy of it all wasn't there. She said she didn't like it. The fantasy of it all wasn't there. It just wasn't easy. It was too real that this was happening. I ended up just asking for a pill. She said Diddy gave her one and she felt better. The second time she tried not to use substances was October 2023. And this is right whenever they broke up, wasn't it? They got back together in 24 in February. She said this was around the time she really wanted Diddy to get sober. She knew it was coming down the pipe. She has an intuition, I think. I think she's intuitive, this lady, whoever it is, Jane. Because she has a really good ability in her text messages to say things in a way that it's like, yeah. She's just... And
You got strikes money? What'd you get striked for?
She said... I wanted him to get sober.
When did you get struck?
Right the next
I didn't
month,
know that happened.
2023. What happened the next month? Cassie sued. This was probably around the time where Diddy was either already gotten or he was about to get a demand from Cassie, or else she was going to sue. Jane wanted Diddy to get sober right around that time. And he agreed to stop taking substances for 30 days. But he wanted to
What'd
have
they strike you
one
for?
last
420?
sobriety party. That is a dumb thing to call that. That is a really nasty thing to call that. And it might just be what it's called, but like it's just literally the opposite of that. It's like, you mean a one last not sobriety party.
So is the video down?
Really weird? It looks like this.
Again, I'm talking to 420. It's about his page, okay? It's not because of music. Anyway, 420. Did you get a strike, or did they just take the video?
Seeing him and Cassie after a night, but not this type of hotel night. She didn't describe it as that.
Yeah, I get that 420. Did they strike you, or did they just take the video down?
8 hours with Cassie in the hotel room. She just couldn't do that anymore. And Diddy was like, more, and it was just like, I just freaking can't, dude. I gotta tap out. And then she ended up becoming sober and deciding that very day to become sober, meaning never taking these substances again, or not taking them again. She said she really wanted Diddy to get sober around this time. This is Jane. She agreed to stop a year and a half ago. Diddy agreed. He said, okay, I'll stop. Let's have one last sobriety.
Well, be careful if you have a strike, because if you get 2 more, they'll take your channel.
Person in active addiction behavior.
So if you do have a strike, you got to be really careful for the next 30 days.
What can you push? And it's all just in the seeking.
Because sometimes what'll happen is when trolls found out that you have a strike, they'll start hitting you. So just be careful.
Normally without it, it appears.
100%.
I'm not an expert, but my daddy did overdose and
That's how it works.
So I'm an expert as far as that can go. Right? I was raised by some man, and I love him. I'm not, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, this is just real. It just happens. But everybody's experience is different. It truly, really is. It really is. So he wanted to have a sobriety party. Like, all right, I'll stop for 30 days.
And that's crazy, because, I have my gun on me all the time, and shit, there's plenty of times my gun's shown online, and they never hit me for that.
Party was at the hotel in Beverly Hills, and it lasted, up to 18 hours. Jane said she didn't take any substances, but Diddy did. Because she was done with the two, it seems. He took EX and cocaine. The prosecutor asked Jane how she felt after getting that hotel night without any substances. She said, I was disgusted. I was just repulsed. I was just so mad at myself for doing that. I just deeply regretted that. It's confusing to me. We're getting different reports. It's confusing to me which of these nights are which, because there was one time she was throwing up. She was throwing up. She didn't feel good. And she was like, I just threw up. And Diddy's like, good, now you're ready for the next one. And that's when this quote was presented at that point. So maybe it is all the same. And this is why we read the different sources, but sometimes they do kind of, maybe not contradict, but it's hard to reconcile them. Jane testifies from Korea. Okay, so we got 3 new updates or so from NBC News. Witness testifies she needed substances to get through hotel nights. This is Rebecca Cohen, Adam Rice, and Yang Feng.
Yeah, because they don't really fucking do all this shit.
Jane said she felt like she had to take substances during the hotel nights with Diddy, because when I wouldn't, it would just feel too real. She didn't want to experience this. I just wanted to kind of just feel like it would just make things easier, she said, breaking down in tears. She said she attempted 2 hotel nights without substances. The first, she didn't like it. The fantasy wasn't there. It was too real. It wasn't easy. She ultimately did.
I know it didn't happen to you. That's why I was talking to 420, Miguel, because it happened to 420.
Okay, so that makes sense. That's what maybe she knew whenever she said my partner was taking too much of it. I didn't want to take the substances because he was taking.
No, the Frank guy, me and him have been running around before. He always runs anytime I put pressure on him. A lot of these quote-unquote trolls are just pussies when you put pressure on them. Yeah, don't worry about if you can go live. Exactly. Go outside, but go to Coney Island, have a good time. Go live every day. You need a break.
She said it was 3.5 days. She said she did not sleep at all and stayed awake with the EX. The shortest hotel night ever was still 12 grueling hours long. When asked how she stayed awake when she answered through the use of when asked how she stayed awake, she answered through
go
the
outside
use
and ride
of
your bike.
caffeine, water, and protein.
Bikes are good exercise.
This is just debauchery is exactly what it is.
Frank's an idiot. He has an image he's trying to portray on Facebook, and I see right through it. I mean, on YouTube, and I see right through it.
She read this out loud today, her text. Ever since I opened Pandora's box, I've never been able to close it.
Okie dokie.
I'm so much more than being loved in the dark in hotel rooms, doing things that make me feel disgusted. I don't want to play this role in your life anymore. It's dark, sleazy, and makes me feel disgusted with myself. I don't want to.
And I realize that this stuff is hard to hear, But I think people need to hear it because they need to understand how trafficking happens in America. Like, you're looking for the white van, somebody's grooming your loved one and doing them like this. And yes, this is trafficking. Force, fraud, and coercion, baby.
Yesterday, she detailed an exciting start to her relationship with me. Over time, she increasingly became uncomfortable with their sexual dynamics and deep financial ties. Hotel nights, and she didn't want to push back and make Diddy unhappy. Through sniffles, Jane testified about times she remembers crying after a hotel night. Typically, after a hotel night, Jane would go back to Diddy's house. He would shower, and then she would cook for him. So after she did all that work, she would then cook for him, give him a massage, and put on one of his favorite shows. Before then, she would finally get to cuddle with him and sleep with him. That was the part that actually made her happy. To end her night with him, but I would really fight to block out just how sad I felt after. She felt obligated to perform. In 2023, Jane said she had conversations with Diddy about wanting to stop.
This case has really showed me how uneducated people are when it comes to trafficking. In America, the only way people understand it is if it's a white van or there's chains and duct tape involved, and it's not the way it happens here. Like, it happens here like that, but that's not the everyday shit that people miss. Because as I was saying on last night, we have such an over-sexualized society that what really is things that you shouldn't be doing to people, like forcing them and shit and drugging them, is almost like normal, which that in itself is weird.
In my opinion, I don't know.
It is very, very common for women that are, or men for that matter, because let's not forget, there's lots of men in this case, lots more men victims than there is women. But yeah, it's just. That's why it's such a rampant thing here. Because in America, the Romeo boyfriend style pimping is at a very rapid speed. And people don't get it because, again, we got a society that gets groomed every day. So whether it's through Starbucks or Nike or PlayStation or a trafficker, people get groomed every day.
First time Jane tried to perform sober in a freak off.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I was gonna say it's not a normal either for drugs and stuff to be when stuff like this is going on, because you gotta check out when you're doing shit like this.
We're doing 100 men in a day, 600 men in a week, whatever it is. It's like, how are they able to get through all that if these ladies are having these breakdowns, understandably, after more time? It's like just the shame of telling people it happened. 2 minutes ago, Diddy's lawyers are crowding around him at the defense table while the court is on a short break. On the defendant's
online grooming happens a lot more than people realize, especially online.
Steele is
It's
leaning
bad.
on his left. Shapiro is hovering over his shoulder. Diddy is speaking animatedly, gesturing with his hands as if frustrated.
What's
or
up,
trying
sweetie?
to get a point across. I bet you he is pissed. Because I think my psychological evaluation of Diddy is that the thing he wants the least is for people to be disgusted with him, and for everyone to unanimously agree that this was depraved and disgusting. He was nasty. Something is wrong with it. Kinkshaming.com city, okay? I kink shame over here. I do. If you don't like kink shaming, you can go. You can stay too, but I do it over here. This should be shamed. This should be shamed.
Well, this is not kink. I don't believe she's kink shaming with this, because this is not shit that is supposed to be going on. Again, people are drugged, people are forced, and they're manipulated. So that's not That's not healthy sex. That's the way to say it.
Yeah. Best way to put it.
The white van driving around kidnapping is from the day, yes, online. 100% He-Man. 100. He-Man gets the winning comment of the day. Holler! Yes, 100%. That shit was fucking back in the day. And like I said, don't get me wrong, because I don't like saying like the white van is a theory, because it does happen, right? Kidnapping still very much happens. I was kidnapped when I was a teenager, you know what I mean? Like, so kidnapping definitely happens. You run away, people get kidnapped, people get groomed, they get kidnapped, but ain't no white van doing it. It's a black Camaro pulling up. Holler! Because they done talked to your baby or your loved one for hours and hours on the fucking line and got them invested and got them trusted. That's grooming at its finest. They do it through video games and shit. There was a bunch of kids a couple years, let's say 5-6 years ago. There was a huge case down here. Somebody trafficking kids and grooming kids on Minecraft. So one thing I can say about my kids, because of who I am and because of the work I do, my kids, even when they were little, they used to come to conferences. Remember that? I'd be speaking at a church or whatever, and all my little Pastor Milton would be like, look at Summer and her ducklings, because he was like, man, you got all these kids. He's like, but they come in, they walk in a straight line. They're so well behaved. They're so respectful. I'm like, yeah, they wait to lose their shit when they get home. I was like, they know they got to do the act right when they out in public. But I used to get the biggest compliments because everybody would be just like, oh, you and your 5 little kids. Well, 6 at one point, because I had Jackson.
I miss Jackson.
Yeah.
I also hate him sometimes.
He's growing up. He just graduated.
What?
Yeah. I'll show you a picture of him. He's pretty big.
That's
But she took a break, so they must be doing lunch. We'll go back and read it and listen to it some more in a little bit. Shout out to her, because the chick that we're listening to, because she has every day read this, and as much as I want to cover this trial, it is hard for me to cover it like every day, because there are a lot of similarities in that situation that has been in my situation. So it just, yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, dude, it's crazy, because the white van theories and shit, like I said, and then people kill me. These are the people that I love, and my Facebook community, I have, I don't know, 15,000 and plus people, right? That's just on one page. So I have tons of people that follow me, and I love them to death because they listen, and they'll tag me in every trafficking post there is out there. But like, ain't nobody putting a baby carriage in the middle of the fucking park garage so you can come get the shit. Okay, I mean, maybe 1 in a billion, right? Ain't nobody putting $100 bills on with poison, and if it is, it's like 1 in a million. And to any of my friends, my brother, that, you know, has done this type of work as far as understanding what trafficking is and trying to stop them if they ever had an opportunity, can tell you, I'm not, you know, it's the manipulation, it's the grooming, it's the let me just make you think I care about you, because there's so many people in this world that just want to be seen and just want to be loved, and they don't get that, and a motherfucker comes in and says the right shit, baby, it's ridiculous. And I get it, because I'm easily wanted, you know, well, not so much anymore, but I definitely probably got me in half of my shit is because I just wanted to be seen. I wanted to be loved. And I kept choosing the wrong fucking people. Dude, my ears are popping like a motherfucker right now. We on some Kentucky mountains right now, baby. I'm surprised I got it.
My ear goes like they're about to go.
I know, my ears are like, ah. It's fucking... They're pretty. In the fall time, this is really, really, really pretty. I love nature. Most of you all know that by now. That is my church. Is this right here? And this is beautiful in the fall time. All the what the fuck is he doing? Where are you going, homie? You big dummy. Do you see that truck? He's trying to go around, but it's like, where you going, baby? It's all fucking traffic right there. It's a construction site.
He's going far.
You gonna go in the ditch? I get you got a truck and all, but that ain't gonna help nothing. It is pretty.
These trucks are moving today.
Huh?
These trucks are moving today.
Oh, yeah. Fuck all that. I ain't in no rush. Let them have they. Do you, baby? I got plenty of time. I like it why I like leaving early so we can just cruise. I ain't gotta speed. I ain't gotta. Y'all have that shit. And it was supposed to rain. It was supposed to start raining yesterday and rain until next week, but it's not gonna start till tonight. So yay, God. He loves me that much. He knows I don't like driving in the rain far from home. So he was like, you know what? You got tried for 3 times and we've had tornadoes. I'm gonna give you a team player and give you a nice day to drive. My God's personal like that. I'm just saying. I don't know about y'all, but he's crazy about this hot mess, baby. You heard? Holler. I got a personal one-on-one connection with him. I'll be like, hey, Zach, what you doing? It's beautiful. This is Kentucky, baby. This is Kentucky right here. You know what I mean? Like, it's the pretty nature and the trees and the, yeah. But listen, don't get caught up in this shit. You go out, your ass might not make it back, baby.
A serial killer every other.
Listen, nah, them fucking hillbillies up in these woods. Oh yeah, don't fuck around, honey.
And whole documentations on the Appalachian Mountains. How the hillbillies, like people go, like thousands of people got missing. In caves.
Direct connection to the dot, baby. Holler. Vinny gets it. He understands me. Even through all my chaos and craziness and silliness and moodiness, I really, and I say it all the time, I really appreciate Vinny. And I know that Vinny would have been a person that I would have trusted in his line of work, which says a lot. Because as we all know, it's fuck 12 till that DIE, baby. But Vinny's a good egg. Vinny's a good pussycat. He's a good pussycat. But yeah, these Appalachian Mountains ain't nothing to fuck around with, honey. I promise you. They'll rearrange your whole motherfucking lifestyle.
Walk out, scalped.
Yeah, fuck yeah, they'll scalp your ass. I promise you, these motherfuckers is no joke. That's why people be like, New York, woo, woo, this, that, Chicago, you know, whatever. It's the hood, we got this. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm from the hood, baby, and I'm a street bitch. Like, obviously, through and through, to this day, even out of the life as long as I've been, I'm still, you know, to my stitching of my nature, I'm a street girl. But I don't fuck with these motherfuckers in the Appalachians, you understand? They will skin your ass, they will scalp your ass, they will, honey, they ain't nothing to fuck around with.
Like the dumb
Send your
mafia.
best fucking craziest motherfucker from New York and drop him in the middle of Appalachia. I bet you won't make it. Just on the rain, you won't make it. But these motherfucking inbred hillbillies down here, they ain't fucking around with your ass. Next thing you know, you be deserted a hog farm somewhere. But it is beautiful. But the derange is really bad because you look at it and you think, you know, it's probably not that bad. Oh man, we got all kinds of wild animals too.
Remember when we were shopping for a new house, the coyote ran in the backyard?
Remember when we had the big house that we were gonna buy, but the stalker fucked all that up, and then one day I came home from protesting and there was a random rooster in the fucking yard?
I remember that. I saw it.
I was like, I came from protesting one day, and like literally, and you have to understand, this neighborhood that I lived in, I mean, this was a fucking a little bit over a $500,000 house. It was a beautiful home, beautiful, borderline gated community, right? And I was so blessed, man. I was so blessed. This lady, she's seen the work that I do and everything, and she's like, you know what, you and your family need a nice, safe home. And she was gonna work with me so we could buy it. But the guy that I had an issue with started harassing her so bad she backed out of the deal. So we ended up losing the house and having to fucking move. Because he kept telling everybody that she was related to this judge that signed all Brianna's warrants, which she was not. Matter of fact, the name she had changed because she was a DV survivor. But, you know, motherfuckers run with whatever they want. But anyway, I came home, and next thing you know, there was a fucking rooster in the back. And there was no, I mean, I get it's Kentucky, but this neighborhood did not have roosters in it. It was just so random.
You're right next to the highway, too.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. It was right by the expressway.
I want to live in Bangor County.
I can't wait till we buy our property and we start getting everything together for our
It would be nice seeing it all get built up.
family compound.
We definitely got to take like a little hallway in one of the houses.
Everything. You know, have our family thing, but the whole process of building the compound. Because, see, I don't know about y'all, but me and my family, we got a 5-year plan, baby. We're going to buy some land, and we're going to build a couple houses. That way my grandbabies and my children and have somewhere safe and somewhere out the way. We're trying to change family dynamics around this motherfucker.
It'll start small, but as long as we get there within the next 5 years,
Oh, shit, it'll be
that's all
fine.
we need. Foundations.
Yep. So even if you buy like 5 acres, you know what I mean? That's a lot. 5 acres, a lot of people don't realize that's a lot of land.
We can always buy more.
Right.
I mean,
Start out with 5 acres.
Unless we have some crazy competitive land, but I wouldn't want to do all that.
Nah, because I mean, wherever we're gonna buy it, I mean, eventually I'm sure it'll get built up because everything eventually gets built up. But
Yeah.
it'll be a hot minute before
Hopefully.
people buy. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy us some land and build a little family compound on it. I've been watching so many people I like know, and they have that kind of shit, and I'm just like, dude, that makes fucking sense to me. Nothing else makes more sense. Like, especially the crazier and crazier this fucking world gets. Why was Thomas hidden? 420.
Welcome to News Nation's Back Scroll, where we look back at our major news coverage on the most
I heard you,
important
and you
topics
probably-
and personalities of our time.
I'm getting in the chopping pot. Look at these fucking hills. It seems like a flat ride, but it really isn't because you're just going in and out of the fucking hills.
Probably above all the.
Yeah, it's definitely friendly fire. What's up, Christine? Love is needed of love. Woo, woo. We're doing good. This is 37 miles. Gosh, I'm just glad. Like I said, I'm happy about the weather.
It's not bad. The ride's definitely a lot shorter.
Yeah. Well, as I said, this ride's not a bad ride because I've driven up. I've had it when I was doing the ring girl shit. I had to drive in Cincinnati like 3 times.
Yeah, a little practice.
And then I've spoke right outside of Cincinnati too, so I've had to drive up there for that as well. Get up there, maybe grab some lunch, get your test, and come back home. And then go to the phone store.
Yeah.
Try to get you situated.
Oh, good. Verizon's a scam.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me because, like I said, I have Boost. I've had it since before you were a baby. I've had Boost since like
The birth of Boost.
Like really, because it started out it was Sprint or something like that first, and then it
Yeah, I remember that.
something that merge or whatever happened. Yeah, I've had Boost since I had the Nextel Trip phones. So that's like a long time ago.
I just remember you guys talking about Trip.
I love those things. I love the Trip phones. I'd be like, "Toot, toot."
You and Dad just going Trip to the house.
And like because back then when I was doing stupid shit, like they couldn't trace it back then.
It's like a
Then
tracer.
they started. They figured it out. But yeah, I've had it since then, and I mean, you can see I've cut out once, but shit, we're in the middle of nowhere, so, and I still got service.
Pretty sure we're like a little elevated too. I think we're going down now.
Yeah. Well, it's like we keep going up and down, up and down, up and down. They say I guess in some areas Verizon's probably really good, but for some reason it's just not that great
Ain't
here.
working at all.
Yeah, I got your phone running off my phone.
It's terrible. I think it's just something's probably messed up. I could call somebody, but I want a cheaper phone bill.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna pay all that money, you want service that you don't have to.
I don't want to have to call you guys.
Yeah.
I'm paying you guys. Do your job.
And you got an iPhone, so.
I don't mind paying a little extra for the
Shit, right.
iPhone. I like the iPhone better than the Androids. Now that I'm used to it.
See, I can't deal with Androids.
They feel, I don't know, more reliable in a way. I mean, I've had this one for a hot second.
Well, when I borrowed Bella's that one time, I was lost as fuck on that thing.
I mean, I'm just now finally getting used to everything. I've had it for almost a year now.
Down, down, down. Road trip, road trip. So what's going on in your life, G? Are you still learning about your credit and all that?
I figured that out.
Trading?
I'm actually looking into that more. Right now, I've just been focusing on building up my savings because I can't do much right now at the stage I'm at until I have a decent savings. Because then I also need to get a car, which is going to kill my savings, so then I have to build it up even more. So it's going to be a little bit of that, but I'll be making a little bit of money.
Well, yeah, because you're going to be working 2 jobs.
Yeah. And then when I'm ready, I can go to school, have it paid for by UPS. That's cool.
Yep.
Because I do want to go to some type of school.
Well, it just will be able to, because then you'll be able to officially get a
Yeah.
career. You know what I mean?
And if I choose the right stuff, the right certifications, degrees, whatever, I can
Shit,
actually get a job and
Right.
not be one of those fuckers that are sitting, applying to a million places and wasting time and money. That's my biggest fear.
Well, and those skills are like the electrician and plumbing and shit like that. That's one thing, no matter what.
That's why I'm glad I'm getting all this experience now, because I got already 3 years of me working 2 jobs,
Yeah.
which I feel like is at least lets people know I can work. Because I'm a kid, I get it, but I won't always be a kid.
Shit, you're more responsible than most fucking adults.
Now I got a management gig, and I'll be at UPS.
I hear motherfuckers on this all the time make 500 fucking excuses why they can't do something. I'm like, dude, my
It's not
fucking
that
kids go to school and work 2 jobs.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing any bullshit from anybody.
Like, I'm chilling. I mean, as long as they have drug tests.
Yeah, but all you do is smoke pot.
Yeah, it's not like I'm doing anything crazy. I'm chilling in my room. I'm just a loner. That works a lot.
Shit, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm chilling.
Trust me, being seen sometimes is aggravating as fuck.
I mean, I get to hang out when I want to. I just have to text somebody. I just don't like people that much.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm like that.
What's up, J1? This road sucks. They're always, every summer, they are always fucking fixing a road somewhere. I've had my lesson with Discords. I will never have another Discord again. I will never have another Messenger group. Damn it. The fucking chair just fell on my goddamn leg. I was like, woo! And if I can't talk to you about it online, it can't be talked about. Every time I've done shit like that, boy, it's always ended bad. Even if I didn't do anything. Shit don't even have nothing to do with me. I don't be in the chat rooms half the time. Too much drama. I would like open up groups and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm busy, as we all know. Like, I'd be busy doing shit, then everybody be like, there's a meltdown happening in Discord. There's drama happening in Discord. And I'm just like, man, I ain't fucking got time for this shit. Like, I'd go in and just burn the shit down. Fuck it. Everybody get the fuck out. My kids don't give me this much of a fucking headache. Shit. Plan B, how are you doing? I didn't do anything. I'm taking my son to go get his driver's license today. Woo woo. Hopefully all is going well with you, Plan B. Thank you for the comment on the community page the other day. I was happy to see you. I was like, oh, there's Plan B. But yeah, in Kentucky, it's crazy, dude, because like with everybody having to get their real IDs and just, I don't know what is going on, but you cannot get an appointment in Jefferson County and Bullitt County or even just the surrounding little places. You literally have to go an hour to 2 hours away just to get in a place to get an appointment. Otherwise, there's like a 3-4 month out. It's fucking ridiculous. Discord puts one in a state of discord. Facts. I've learned my. I loved having groups and I loved being able to talk to people and, you know, all that. But then, I'm like, dude, I got fucking 10 kids and none of you online are it. I've lost friendships over that shit and everything. Like, nah, I'm not. Ever again. I got pulled over one time coming out of Tennessee when I went to court. I had to go to Tennessee to go to court with a DV victim. And I was coming back and I'm riding just like I am right now, same distance with the trailer and everything. And this fucking cop, I see him, he had somebody pulled over and they looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, he's gonna pull me over. I could just tell, like you could tell because he was like, ha ha. And he left the fucking thing and he flipped around and I was like, yep, he's coming to get me. He pulls me over, searches the car and everything, and he's like, why were you riding so close to the trailer? I was like, I'm not riding close to the trailer. He was like, once he realized who I was, he was like, you of all people should know that is a prime example of a human trafficker. I was like, dude, come on, really? I was like, I'm a human trafficker? He was like, no, I know who you are and you do great work and we appreciate you. Which I was really shocked that some fucking little county cop down by Tennessee border knew who I was. I didn't know if that was good or bad, but whatever. He was praising me for the work that I did, so I was happy about that, I guess. I was like, man, I called Daddy. I'm in rural Kentucky, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I had my gun and everything. He wasn't worried about none of that. I was like, you got any pounds of marijuana? I said you got, well, because on my record, I have been arrested for 46 pounds of.
I always forget that.
That shit was crazy, right, Christine? I will say I'm pretty well known in the area of where I live because of the work that I do. I ride around my whole state. I speak, I train. I've trained cops, I've trained doctors, I've trained nurses. Thank you, Vinny. But yeah, that shit was funny. I was like, are you really pulling me over? Because she said I was riding too fucking. That really ridiculous. I have an appointment to get mine, so we'll see how it works. I just know that I'm gonna get there and they're gonna be like, you ain't got something. Yeah. Just like, cut me open and take a kidney, fuck it. Let's go. It's like a little work. Took me 3 times, keep going back. Yeah. I took a picture and it says that all this different stuff, so I'm like, okay. Let's see. I think my appointment's like in a week or 2. But shit, those things are like $80. Those real IDs, well, I don't know if they're that much, but they're expensive.
At least it lasts a while.
All the fucking shit they make you go through, it should last for a lifetime. Hey, J1. We're just chilling on the expressway today. I'm no rush, nothing like that. Just left in plenty of time, so I didn't have to worry about anything. Christina, I believe it. So, hey everybody, are the 2 boyfriends still arguing? Has anybody checked today to see if they're going back and forth with each other? Apparently, I didn't know, but it started like yesterday afternoon. I didn't find out till yesterday evening. Fucking clowns. Dun, dun, dun. So green. It's party.
I can imagine this drive would be cool in the fall.
Elon is apologizing? What? Pussy. Okay, maybe not. I guess this is the first time you took this route. He's apologizing. Yeah, too late because we got all the screenshots, baby. I got all the screenshots. I had a fucking thick weed. I knew that shit was gonna happen. You heard? This really is not bad driving. Why is my ears popping like crazy? Shit.
The definition of a straight shot. It goes up and down.
It's very roller coaster. And you know what's crazy? Like, I always think about this, like, not like all these trees that are right here, like, we see the top of them. Imagine how high up on the mountain we are. On certain little spots, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I can imagine our ears popping. We're about too high.
Passports are $500. What? Dude, ain't nobody in front of you. Why do you keep slowing down? Alright, buddy. I've rode with you the whole time, but like... get it. Semis, it's hard for them to go up these hills. And I feel like he hasn't driven this route because there was a couple times he turned and it was almost an emergency lane. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see, is there anything? We'll start back. Johnson announced danger. Oh boy. Y'all wanna laugh?
Entertainment on you. We finally have a president who's willing to stand up.
This guy's voice is ridiculous.
Thank you, and Dr. Otis.
Thank you, Secretary Kennedy. This is the most powerful executive order on pharmacy pricing and healthcare ever in the history of our nation. And it's only happening because we have a president with the fortitude, the guts to stand up to the withering criticism. And
Should be fun. I don't know. You'll maybe find reasons why it's not, but I can't imagine
All right,
because
well,
we
let's
have a
get
lot
through
of
that.
great things happening. It's been a very strong week and a very strong weekend. Before we begin, let me say a few words about the historic events that took place over the last few
Me and
days.
my boyfriend broke up in front of
On Saturday,
everybody.
my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons. And they were going at it hot and heavy, and it was seemingly not going to stop. And I'm very proud to let you know that the leadership of India and Pakistan was unwavering.
Very
powerful,
proud to let you know that I'm a douchebag.
unwavering in both cases, having these, they really were, from the standpoint of having the strength and the
They
wisdom
really
and
were, you
fortitude
know.
to fully know and to understand the gravity.
We all
of the
know that my
situation.
my vocabulary is just a hot mess. But when you're the president, we should be able to understand what you're saying. Not you talking like a fucking 30-year-old. Everything's just beautiful, people. It's just amazingly beautiful, people.
You stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade.
You stop me when you train.
People
You don't
never
stop
use
it.
trade the way I used it. That I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop. And they have. And they did it for a lot of reasons, but trade is a big one. We're going to do a lot of trade with Pakistan. We're going to do a lot of trade with India. We're negotiating with India right now. We're going to be soon negotiating with Pakistan. And we stopped a nuclear conflict. I think it could have been a bad nuclear war. Millions of people could have been killed, so I'm very proud of that. I also want to thank Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio for their work and efforts. They worked very hard on that. We also, as you know, created a situation where the Houthis, for the first time ever, have ceased firing, and they've let it be known that they're not going to be firing at American ships anymore.
Cease firing.
Americans anymore.
Is this old?
This
I
was
feel like this is
a,
old.
Heavy barrage that lasted for
He just looks like a douche, don't
approximately
he?
50 days. And as you know, they've been in war essentially for forever. But over the last 10 years, they've been very difficult for other countries.
My nails are
We was
growing.
able to do what we did. But they stopped, and we take their word for it. The surrogates and them directly said, we don't want to do
Nails
this
look like they're
anymore.
trying to like shave with layers.
And so we were satisfied with that.
You got working hands.
In addition, yesterday we achieved a total reset with China.
And by the way, Poppy,
After productive
it is
talks
Men's
in Geneva,
Mental Health Month, so just make sure your mental health is good.
reduced the tariffs imposed after April 2nd to 10% for 90 days as negotiators continue with the largest structural issues. And I want to tell you that things, first of all, that doesn't include the tariffs.
That's right, that semi that I was following is way back.
So it doesn't include tariffs.
Everybody don't want around his house.
Things such
Yeah,
as that.
super slow.
Or tariffs that may be imposed on pharmaceuticals because we want to bring the pharmaceutical businesses back to the United States, and they're already starting to come back now based on tariffs because they don't want to pay 25, 50, or 100% tariffs, so they're moving it back to the United States. I spoke to Tim Cook this morning, and he's going to, I think, even up his numbers, $500 billion. He's going to be building a lot of plants in the United States for Apple, and we look forward to that. I really do look forward to that. But the talks in Geneva were very friendly. The relationship is very good. We're not looking to hurt China. China was being hurt very badly. They were closing up factories. They were having a lot of unrest. And they were very happy to be able to do something with us.
Everything's very bad, very happy, very.
The relationship is very, very good. I speak to President Xi maybe at the end of the week. We have some other things we're doing. But one of the biggest things that we're doing, and I don't know if people realize this, but we made a great deal with China, a great trade deal. But it was a much bigger deal originally, and then they canceled it right in the last day. Some of you faces I remember were there when that happened. I remember you. And we had a deal where they opened up their country to trade with the United States. And they took that away at the last moment, and then they canceled the whole thing. And then 6 months later, we ended up doing a smaller deal, but it was a big deal. It was $50 billion worth of product that they were going to purchase from our farmers, etc. And we agreed to that. People thought it was 15 because they were doing 15. We made it 50 because I misunderstood the 15. I thought I said, you got to get 50. Because when I asked, if you remember the story, when I asked, what are we doing with them? My Secretary of Agriculture at the time, Sonny Perdue, said, sir, it's about 15 billion and we're asking for 15. And I thought he said 50. So I said, so they came back with the deal at 15. And I said, no way, I want 50. Because you said 50. They said, sir, we didn't say that. Anyway, bottom line, I said, go back and ask for 50, and they gave us 50. And they were honoring the deal. And we called them up a lot for the corn and for the wheat and for everything. They were honoring the deal. And then when Biden got in, they no longer honored the deal. There was nobody to call. I would call on an average of once every 2 weeks to say, come on, you have to speed it up a little bit. And our farmers were doing great. I said to them, buy more land and bigger tractors, if you remember. That's what happened. But the deal was a very good deal. But the best part of the deal was that we opened up China. China agreed to open itself up to American business to go in. And it would have been a great thing, I think, for China. They would be able to see things that they haven't seen. They would be able to buy products that they have never been able to buy. Would have been great for American business. I think it would have brought unity between China, better unity between China and the United States. And the bottom line is that they canceled it the last day. We were all set.
Films, and I was really into him. I messaged him.
The jury's back, or the court's back. I don't want to listen to him.
Responded positively. They were in her first residence, and then what happened? Same thing, baby oil, the whole routine. Diddy watches, he's happy. Did you see Anton again? Yeah, sometimes at hotels in LA, sometimes at my apartment. And did you ever FaceTime with him? Either of them? Yes. When me and Diddy were alone having SUL times, and why would Diddy call them? Because he wanted something live. And remember, I was like, what does that mean? What do you mean something live? I was doing like SUL texting, FaceTime, and screen sharing to Diddy's TV. I told Sly and Anton I was alone. Oh, wow. She told them she was alone so they would feel comfortable. Did you ask Sly and Anton to send you pictures of their downstairs? Yes. Diddy wanted them. He would say, get it. Why did Diddy want to see pictures of these dudes?
Because he likes men.
Next question. Did Anton or Sly ever send you pictures? When you were not with Diddy? Yes, I was polite and flirtatious, but not as flirtatious as when I was with Diddy. Did you ever see them in person without Sean? Yes. Sorry, no. She said, no, I never did. So she was kind of having to keep up this facade because, like, she's screen sharing herself to Diddy's TV, and screen sharing the FaceTime call with her and this man, and she's like not telling him Diddy's there. She's like, oh, let's just fool or whatever on the FaceTime, on the sexting or whatever, and then sometimes they would hit her up while she wasn't with Diddy, and then so it's like she's trying to keep up the, you know, lie, I guess. And she said she would text them back flirtatious, but she's like, I was polite and flirtatious, but not as much as, you know, when I was with Diddy. Did you ever see them in person without Diddy? No. I never hung out with them in person unless Diddy was there. Are these your texts with Sly? Let me show you. She said, I was asking for explicit photos or videos from him. That's what Diddy wanted. What did Sly say? He said, I'm down.
I thought you were sleeping.
We have 2 new updates from Washington Post. 7 minutes ago, Wesley Parnell. Diddy twice asked Jane to bring a package of substances from California to Miami in her checked luggage. Jane testified today. She said she was uncomfortable with the idea, but a member of Diddy's staff told her she often carried his drugs. The breadth of this testimony is growing, and prosecutors are guiding it to show that for Jane, what began as an idealistic relationship with Diddy devolved into forced acts and transporting controlled substances across state lines. The government's racketeering, conspiracy, and ST charges revolve around victims being forced into actions they otherwise would not have been comfortable doing. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I was asking for explicit photos or videos from him, and that's what my partner wanted, meaning Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. What did Sly say? He said, I'm down. What did you say? I wrote, I'm touching myself, and then what's your full name and date of birth? Why did you say that? To book his travel? And then what did you write? She's booking. And so she's saying, okay, so they're texting back and forth. I want you to come make videos with me. What's your full name and date of birth for the travel, for the ticket? I need to book your travel. What did you write? Then Jane is like, then I wrote back, she's booking it. And who's she? That's the travel agent, Jen. This was November 2020. Oh yeah, the end of the year 2021. So that was like the first full year they dated. What did you say? I wrote, I'm touching myself. Then what's your full name and date of birth? That is so funny.
All right. Almost there. At least if we are driving back and it rains, I know it's a flat, like, you know what I mean? And it's during the day, so we'll be alright. Longer and a tornado.
This one is like a
Yeah.
Diddy copy paste.
That's the only thing I hate is at night when it's raining and shit, you can't see.
This is like
See it? It's that shit clouds in the truck. I don't know what he's carrying in there, but it's just flying off. You gotta be careful because that shit breaks somebody's shit. This company will have to fix it. Is this too much?
Well,
Listening to this?
no. I'm chilling.
Mini Diddy.
I am tired.
I know, poor thing. He's thinking too.
Well, on the way back, you can take a nap.
Yeah.
Or you can take a nap the next
We are gonna get. It's
20
gonna
minutes.
be 3. It's gonna be 3 days of Brian and or what?
Should have brought a pillow. Usually don't go back though.
Shout out to Rainbow. I'm Rainbow.
That's
Nice
not like that.
lot.
I got a whole lot of D&B information in my head right now. If I go to sleep, it'll all go away.
Right.
I think Jen is getting pulled into this mess.
181.
Lucy said that darn KK had her hands on everything, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Didn't she? Shout out to Angela becoming a member. Thank you, Christy, for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for all your hard work. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Chrissy Lee. Thank you. Thank you, Jessa. Shout out to you becoming a member for a month. I downloaded your song. Literally can't stop listening to it. You can do it all, girl. I mean it. Shout out to the Oriana Music Altar. He's not doing body swapping. Please, not the body swap, Shayla. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. I mean, look, listen, there's not much that you can surprise me with at this point. Like, if that's what ends up coming out after all this, he was doing magical spells and rituals, I won't be that surprised. I might even actually be more surprised that he wasn't.
Right.
Okay. So, they were booking this flight. Question, when you received these explicit messages, were you alone? She said, yeah, and then I sent a blander message. And then he texted me again, April 2022. So this was like months later. Hello, beautiful. How was your day? Question, why did Jess book the flight? Jane said, I was too much on substances. I couldn't book the flight because I was on too much substances, so Jane did it. Jen, not Jane. Jen, the flight booker. What's the name? Travel agent.
Rest area.
I'm waiting for her to say Robin Greenhill wired me the money.
Forget those exist.
No CPAs, nobody except that one guy who didn't even work.
I've
Or
stopped
did
doing
he since 2017? Which is weird.
There's
Where's the
been a
money
couple
people
times.
right now? 5 minutes
That
ago,
might
The
be when my
Independent,
dad was
Jane
working.
describes Hotel Night with performer named Sly. Jane testified that the first performer she picked to do a hotel night was a man who went by Sly. She found Sly while watching his videos with Diddy, she testified. She picked him because he was familiar with me after the first time they were familiar, and then he felt like a safe option. Jane and Diddy flew Sly out to Los Angeles, Miami, and New York. Okay, so across state lines, and it would typically be $2,000 to $4,000 in cash for a commercial purpose. Nothing further, Your Honor. There you go with the prostitution. That's one of the 3 counts. Remember, it was racketeering, ST for the interstate traffic of a person for the purposes of a commercial S act, and then there was like forced labor. There's 3. There might actually 5, but those are the big 3 that really serve the most.
Shit, the Rico is life. They get him on Rico. He's a
So
wrestler.
this one helps to prove both count 1 and 2.
Right.
Because he's flying somebody across state lines and paying them thousands of dollars for
And that's why so many rappers are being quiet and they're worried because they're like, well, if he can get charged with that shit, we do that shit all the time. And not just rapper, rock stars, all kinds of people. A lot of people don't realize it's not, you can't do that, but
But
yeah.
that's not what's going on here with Jane, as far as her testimony. Now,
Every
we did
rich
hear
person
that
breaks
he was
someone.
pitching a fit
Oh, yeah.
the break. He was flailing his
They think
arms
they
around. He was mad. His lawyers were all convened around. And maybe he was trying
Alright,
to
not this
message his
exit, but the
lawyers.
next exit is Oz.
So the last question was, why did Jess book the flight and not you? And she said, well, I was too high to type. And he was going to be the entertainer. Were there other entertainers? Yeah, Paul and Don. Don was the first guy, remember?
In 2 miles, take exit 181 for Kentucky 18 toward Florence, Burlington.
Question, between May 2021 and October 2023, how often were the hotel nights? So the middle of the year 2021, so like over 2.5 years, how often? She said often. Every week, every other week. After February 2024, where did this happen? 2-Star Island in LA. So who was with Diddy in the hotel in New York?
we killed all that crap, that seafood.
Diddy, September 2024, Diddy was
It
arrested.
ain't stand a chance.
Huh?
It ain't stand a chance.
There was like a
That
woman
shit was
stuck in the
crap.
hotel.
Brittany kept going on about how she didn't like crab, but then proceeded to eat more crab than I did.
As far as what's been described to you.
She's like, I don't know if I like it. I was like, well, it looks like you like it. You keep eating it.
But after February,
She's like, I could go without it, but if somebody gave it to me, I'd eat it.
October
I'm like, girl,
2023,
just say you like it. I'm like, what the hell?
after the Cassie lawsuit, after all that, now that's one of the criticisms I've heard.
This is our exit.
Jane got back together with Diddy after Cassie's
This is the
lawsuit.
first time I've seen her.
What? A lot of people were saying that. So yeah, it was like
Yeah, fancy
February
water tower.
2024.
In a half mile, take exit 181 for Kentucky 18 toward Florence, Burlington.
Showers everywhere.
Last year. So February to
They
September.
put y'all on their water.
So after February 2024, where did the free
Florence,
throws happen?
y'all.
Hotel night. She said Two-Star Island, that's Miami,
You just want me to
and
introduce
LA.
your
So
city?
across the
Take
line,
exit
there's
181.
two states. Okay. In the LA residence, you're still living in it right now? Yes. After
In 1,000
February
feet, turn left onto
2024,
Kentucky 18 West, Burlington
how many
Pike.
FOs did you have? She said, oh, maybe 5. How many different men? I don't know. Okay, let's talk about some of them. Who is this? That one's name is Don. And when's the last
At the light,
time?
turn left onto Kentucky 18 West, Burlington Pike.
August
Oh, they got a nice
2024
little city
at
of Florida.
Two-Star Island was the last freak off with Don. Y'all, it wasn't a year.
There's a little
ago.
city literally right across the street, right across the bridge from Cincinnati. But it's a cute little town. It like reminds me of like the Andy Griffin show, like how their town was.
Yeah.
It's just a little, but it's like it's got some stores and stuff. It's even got a club and shit.
Kind of like how Shepherdsville is.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, like a little like that.
End of July.
But it's cute because it looks like
About a year, a little
the architect is like from back in the day.
less than
I
a
love
year.
that look. That
She said
Yeah,
end of
small
July
town
2024, but before that,
aesthetic look. Yeah.
very often.
I want to go to a small town that's like not that small. But
There's
it's still a little
February
small town.
2024, they get back together.
Mhm.
Cause then you
She
actually
has
walk
a
around.
FO with
Usually it's just one
Don
street
in
or a
August.
couple streets.
But the month before that, she had an FO with Paul. What did you think Paul did? I thought Paul was a personal trainer for Diddy. Uh-oh. Hit, hit. But why was NBC reporting this might be the last government witness? That would be surprising.
Dude, it's crazy. They keep saying the prosecution is going to be resting. I'm like, what? It just seems like there's so much more. He's got a shitload of civil cases, though. That's one thing I do know.
Can we move
It's
on?
not surprising.
But and what's crazy, it's
Can we
like,
move on?
I guess there's just not enough to meet standards or something, because when you're in civil court, it takes less to prove stuff. But there's some terrific fucking cases in civil court.
1 minute ago, Washington.
It's crazy that he's already in for life.
But just the RICO charge can give him life. And a lot of people, because they don't know what works in a courtroom, and they think they know, but they don't know.
Continue on Kentucky 18 West for 4 miles.
And they've proven trafficking.
Into these OnlyFans, so-called OnlyFans management companies, where they take a portion of the revenues from the creator. They're calling them creators now. It's porn stars, and they're
No.
taking
Not everybody on
revenues
OnlyFans are
from
porn
these
stars.
acts, and they're hiring bot farms in Pakistan to text message with men and women pretending to be these creators. I want investigations into those networks. I don't know, innocent until proven guilty. I have no way to know, but perhaps starting with Creators Inc., who Harvey Levin, who's very obviously connected to the Diddy team.
If there's something you want to eat that you see, just let me know.
Diddy's lawyer is Tony Aragosh. Harvey Levin did a
Oh, they have, I guess it's
Porn, it's
illegal.
the new
No,
TV.
we're still in Kentucky.
For Creators Inc. I'm just saying, if the FBI wants to start looking in any direction, I can't see why not to start at the largest adult content creator management firm in the world, the most lucrative one, and the most well-known one. I don't know why they wouldn't start there. Anyway, a network of S workers was available for free golf, Jane testified, but she and Diddy eventually started recruiting porn stars join the sessions. Jane, who is testifying under a pseudonym, said she reached out to at least 2 adult film stars, including one named Chef, because he worked as a private cook on the side. She said she began suggesting, did he hire porn stars rather than S workers? What's the difference? Well, I guess there is a difference, but like, I think it means she started suggesting they hire like adult film actors, so she could have relations with men she was familiar with rather than strangers. When Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey asked Jane why she acted cute and bubbly with a particular porn star, she replied, because he was familiar with me and he felt like a safe option versus a stranger showing up and doing S work. How did Paul realize she had an FO? August, she had another FO.
Do you want McDonald's?
Sure.
Or something else?
This time in Miami with Don. How did Paul, or he would already be there? Who's this? This is a man named Leo. I met him through Diddy for one of these nights.
I like the
met
Kia
him on my
cars. They're
birthday.
nice.
And when's
They
the
get
last time you had a
carjacked
freak
so
out with
much.
him? 2023.
That's the only reason I
Where
wouldn't
did
get
you
one.
see
But
Leo?
they're nice. I
That
like
was
them.
LA.
Yeah.
The inside
What
of
else
them
did
are
you call
dope as fuck.
Italian.
Like when I was all
Who's
that
this?
electric stuff.
That's a guy
Yeah.
Diddy brought into
Like their whole,
hotel
like all
night
this
in
is fucking
2021.
screens.
What happened?
I see some customers, they'll come in and it looks like there's an alien spaceship.
Diddy said he had someone coming over. I
I
was
look at them and
repulsed.
it must be known.
Oh, this is the 2021. So this must have been before she was picking
KFC, McDonald's.
This guy Diddy had brought.
Continue on Centennial Circle for half a mile.
Who's this? A guy Diddy brought into a hotel night in 2021. What happened? Diddy said he had someone coming over and I was repulsed. Larmitage. 2021. She was repulsed. And she's
No. 1 second.
New number 4. What's a Coke?
For what?
A.
Can I get a number 4? A?
Medium or low?
Medium.
Medium? Coke? And then can I also get a quarter pounder C, the deluxe one, with no ketchup or onions? Medium with a sweet tea.
Anything?
Nope, that'll be all. Alright, thank you. Huh?
So nice.
She talks very soft.
Yeah.
Hello. There you go.
New Jersey.
No. You too.
Yeah, dude or a chick?
Huh?
Yeah, dude or a chick?
I think it's a girl, but I don't know. I don't guess anymore.
Yeah.
Live your best life. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a car off of that Carvana.
All right, which one? Okay. Ooh, it's hot. There you go, sir.
took over choosing men for hotel nights. Now, I think the prosecutors are having her do this because they already know from
At the light, turn right onto Kentucky 18 West, Burlington Pike.
Say this was all
Hello,
consensual.
lady. I'm not even at the light.
Jane willingly did this because she knew it was a part of being Diddy's girlfriend, and she did it willingly. And so she even picked the guys. And so I think they're really explaining why she did that.
Right. And there's still people that won't get it. They'll
According to
still
her,
think,
from
well,
May
no, they.
until October, Diddy would reach out to the entertainers. But Jane said she eventually started arranging the entertainers because she didn't like to be surprised with strangers. She said, I hated it. She said, I decided to choose who's going to be on my body. She said she got the idea to choose from watching Corn. Then Maureen Comey asked, did you want to have relations with men other than Diddy? Absolutely not, she replied. The first person Jane spoke about was a man nicknamed Chef because he had a passion for cooking. Jane recalls watching
Yeah, he
some
was
of his
cooking something
videos
alright.
discussing the size of his down there, and Diddy was allegedly encouraging and flirtatious, so she offered to message him. She said she sent him a message via Instagram and they texted and made small talk. They allegedly had a FaceTime conversation in late 2001 or in late 2021 or early 2022, and things got really hot and steamy on the FaceTime call, according to Jane. She said they started talking
I love that McDonald's is still halfway.
to him about relations
I love
and
that
showed
McDonald's
each
is
other their
still halfway
bodies,
cheap.
and Jane claims she did this because Diddy wanted her to.
I'm glad we didn't get up
She
here and it was like an
streamed
hour
the
behind.
FaceTime call on Diddy's TV.
That would have been
and
so
he allegedly
funny.
watched.
Been here for 2 hours.
After the FaceTime, Jane said they met
But I
in
think this is a
person.
good time.
Jane claimed
Because you
she
go in at
scheduled
1,
his
right?
flight
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Atlanta
we can
to
eat,
LA.
chill.
She booked it via
Look
Expedia
up on
and
your
said
stuff if
Diddy
you want.
reimbursed
Yeah.
her. She said
You
when she
take a
first
couple
met
more
the
little
male
tests.
entertainer, he was really
Study
sweet
a
and
little
there were
more.
butterflies.
Never hurt.
She claims she remembers telling him that her
I'll have some
partner
food
would
for
be
thought.
there as well, so he wouldn't be surprised. They made small talk and then went about the same routine. This routine included her outfit, oils, dancing, pre-gaming on the male entertainer, and then, full-on relations. Jane testified Diddy was there watching and taking care of his own self. He was really happy and saying positive things. Jane said she invited his guy, this was a slide, to hotel nights.
Oh, wow.
I was actually having a good time. I was on your panel. Oh my God, girls know what to talk about. IT, and then okay, hey, shut the fuck up. You're retarded. Oh no.
What?
So Mr. Big Pipes used to hit on me all the time. Oh, you're from Iran. You're Persian. I know you're the background. Oh, you women are so beautiful. You're so hot. I'm trying to bring it back over here. Bring it back.
He left.
Yeah. I would be mad at Mr. Big Pipes if he wasn't already projecting. He's a sick.
We're listening to Psyche
He's
right now.
disgusting. Everybody knows he's like, hey, look at my ex-girlfriends from 30 years ago, exposing their pictures, trying to give himself, some kind of confirmation that he still is a man. He's not. And my problem is not him. Everybody knows he's a loser. But when you called me a predator twice last night, you did nothing about it, Psyche, and you came back and you said, Mr. Big Pipes, are you going to give me any money? And you just laughed when I asked for a fucking apology. Laugh at it in here.
Peter, look. This is the guy you supported from day one. Look.
That's the guy that I fucking brought a lot of people here to. You're going to be crying soon. Okay?
Yeah. I don't look at you. Apologize. I'm sorry. I don't even know it. You let him back on, and you let him back on, disrespecting Peter. No, I can't believe you. I just want to. Also, Mr. Big Pipes is some dick, right? He's a weirdo. I like the weirdo.
I am not responsible for what is being said, just FYI.
You people love to talk about dicks.
You want a homosexual kid?
Oh,
Yeah. That Mr. Big Pipes is one of the leaders of the Big Pipes.
Alrighty. Well, you guys, we're going to sit here and eat our lunch. It's a little too early for all that on here. But I want to check in and listen to everybody. So I'm going to hang out with my son and listen to some silly shit. And we will be back on the road home. Thanks for riding with us. And we will see y'all later. Holler. can't be.